Fool for Love. And you wrote and produced the...
No, I wrote it.
You
I
wrote
wrote the song. Some
Okay.
of the songs. Some of them I didn't. No, it was produced by Tony Brownangle out in Los Angeles. It was from Houston originally.
Okay.
Me and him have been played together in years ago. Me and him and another guy, Terry Wilson, and another guitar player from Fort Worth there, Jimmy Don Smith. We did a bunch of shows backing up Lightning Hopkins and Jimmy Reed, traveling around the South, Texas and Mississippi and Alabama and in Louisiana, so. Back in the day when Jimmy had just gotten out of the hospital, Jimmy Reed had, and he was wanting to get back into the music business because he was such an alcoholic for such a long time, and he had quit drinking and he was wanting to make a comeback. And unfortunately, after we did that little tour and everything, and he went back Mississippi and some other places playing around still, but he ended up dying, and which is one of the things that we all have to deal with, and especially with the blues guys. And there's been a lot of them been going down the last few years, and I hate to see it happen, but not too many of them, the young black artists are taking up the torch on that, and it's left a lot of times with us white artists that really love the blues. And,
Yeah.
And that's where I started playing back in the '60s, the late '60s with Lightning Hopkins. And I realized that this has got longevity. This guy's, in his early 60s, and he's still playing around, and people are coming out and seeing him. So, I went from the blues rock transition from back in those days, to trying to do more of the blues thing. Now I'm hitting on a lot of my Louisiana roots also. So, I stick a lot of that, some of the traditional old swamp pop stuff and stuff like that, because it's very danceable stuff, and people love it right here. And we got a pretty large transitions of Louisianians in Texas, especially around Port Arthur in the southeast part of Texas. So keeps me working. What can I say? It's very danceable stuff. Sometimes people even love me. What can I say?
I've witnessed it. I've been in your audience, and I've seen people who love you, and they scream out, "We love you, Tommy." I've seen that. So, okay, so that tells us a little.
I'll pay them to do that.
Oh, is that the tip jar gets passed, and they get to take a handful out? I see.